Hi, I'm Roger Michaels. Welcome back to my own little kitchen. Today we're going to be doing a Polish recipe that's, if I'm pronouncing it right, is called Haluski, which is shredded cabbage and noodles. Now, you would also add um, Polish sausage, um, any kind of that kind of stuff to it, different kinds of sausages, pork chops, anything else. Well, we're making just the basic noodles and cabbage. It's a great dinner if you're having a meatless Monday. It's also a great side dish to something else. So we're going to start out with, I already have my water boiling for the noodles. So once I get this started, I'll be able to throw the noodles into hot water. So we're going to need half of a cabbage. You can see the stem here. So I'm just going to go a little bit around that. We'll use that for something else. And what you want to do is just cut it in about half-inch ribbons. And now you see I'm getting close to the edge, and because this is slippery, I want to save my fingers. So I will just turn it this way, and then I can keep cutting ribbons from it and save my fingers. And even though the slices are big and thick like this, as it cooks, they'll separate. Or you could help it along as you're putting it in the bowl. Now this should feed about 4 people, depending on their appetites. If you add Polish sausage or any of the other smoked sausages to this and make it a little bit heartier, it'll feed 6. So what I want to do is turn this pan on and get it hot. Then I'm going to melt my butter in it, throw in the onions, and then throw in the cabbage. This is 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. For cooking purposes, I prefer unsalted butter because you can control how much salt is going into your food. I don't know if this really helps the butter to melt faster, but it gives you something to do so you don't feel like an idiot standing by the stove idle. I'm going to turn this down a little bit so that when I do add this stuff to cook, it won't spit at me. Because having hot butter or hot oil splash on you is no picnic. Okay, we are close enough. So the water's boiling. I'm going to add the noodles, set the timer for 12 minutes, and by that time, the cabbage should be ready in here. Once you add pasta to boiling water, always make sure you stir it a little bit so it doesn't end up one big clump of pasta. All right, now we're ready here. I'll add the onions. Oh, let me put the timer on. I'm glad I have a double stove so we've got two timers. I can time two things at once. And so you can start smelling the onion. You don't want them to really turn brown. So before they have a chance to do that, go ahead and add the cabbage. That'll help take some of the heat away. And yes, it looks like a lot, but yes, it cooks down. Almost the way spinach does, but not quite as much. So start moving things around a little bit, get the onions off the bottom. And yes, there will be casualties. Some of these will fall out of the pan. You want to get as many cabbage shreds touching the butter as possible. That helps them cook down and steam. You can see steam coming out now because of the water content of the cabbage. Once everything starts cooking down and gets a little moist, then I'll add salt, pepper, and caraway seeds. And that's to taste. So I'm not going to tell you a half teaspoon of this and a quarter teaspoon of that. And now that the noodles are boiling, I'm going to make sure I stir them again. And again, some recipes call for salt, pepper, garlic powder, paprika, many, many different ways of making this. Now I'm going to add some seasoning to it, and then I'll put a lid on it. I prefer cabbage cooked this way. Boiled cabbage is all right, but it doesn't have the flavor that sautéed cabbage has. Also adding caraway. I don't think you could really have cabbage without caraway seeds. Now that's about a quarter teaspoon of seeds. Caraway is what you find in a lot of rye breads. It's very popular with Eastern European cooking. Um, it gives a nice, earthy taste to it. All right, the cabbage is all nice and moist and stirred. And to help capture that steam, we're going to put a lid on it for a few minutes. I'll give the noodles another toss here. And we're just about ready. We'll do that when dinner is served. All right. The noodles are finished cooking. I have them drained already. The cabbage is nice and soft. I've turned off the heat. Now all we have to do is combine them. And there you have it. Haluski, or Haluski, or cabbage and noodles. You can see how silky the cabbage is. You can see how smooth and silky the noodles are. You can see the caraway seeds. You can see how the onions were starting to brown a little bit. So, let's go here. I'll try not to burn my mouth, but I don't think I can wait anymore. Perfection. Just the right amount of seasoning. Textures are beautiful. The flavor is there. Very, very nice, especially on a chilly autumn or winter afternoon or dinner. So, thank you for joining me. This is Roger Michaels for my own little kitchen.